Welcome to Let's Talk Business, live from the OBRC. I am your host, Andre Soul Williams, and today I have a great show ahead of us. I'm going to be interviewing two people because, as you know, I always interview two people during the show. One is, I would say, a soccer connoisseur. She's an expert in her field, and she has been doing and following, writing, and just ultimately knowing the game of soccer for years. Her name is Rosangela Diniz of Gold News. So you see, I got all the little soccer things going on. And then my second guest is going to be Mr. Emmanuel Washington, affectionately known in the community as Papa Daddy. He is the owner and operator of CWTP, Community Work Training Program, and it is located also in the community of Overtown, but he makes sure that people get jobs. So when I come back, we're going to have our guests and we're going to do our thing. This is Let's Talk Business, live from the OBRC, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hi, my name is Levon Johnson Sr., President and CEO of Ultimate Guard Protection Services. Safe security solution is our motto. Providing premier customer service to all our clients is our goal. Ultimate Guard is a security company that provides coverage for commercial and residential clients, as well as special events. We also provide training for those individuals who want to become licensed. I started doing security 10 years ago for DSI Security. I worked my way up, and I had an idea to start my own security company. 2014, I established Ultimate Guard Protection Services, and we've been going strong ever since. One of Overtown's biggest needs is ensuring a safe pedestrian environment and bringing nightlife back to the city. Ultimate Guard Protection Services is located at 1490 Northwest 3rd Avenue, Miami, Florida 33136. We can be reached at 786-326-4231 by web through ultimateguardsecurity.com. Safe security solutions.
Welcome back from our commercial break, and you are watching Let's Talk Business live from the OBRC. I have my first guest today with me. Her name is Rosangela Diniz, and she is the owner and operator of Gold News. How you doing, Rosangela?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you in our community in Overtown.
Tell us about Gold News and how it came about.
Go News is a soccer magazine to take care of all the soccer fans among the 2.6 population of Miami-Dade County, including Overtown. Those people are frustrated for not finding what they are looking for.
Right.
So we must to serve these people because they look for in all the media and do not get what they wanted. So right. Go News is to bring soccer news in women and men from local Miami-Dade, right. Florida, or state of Florida, United States, right. and worldwide. And it will be in English and Spanish. And it will be in edition online and print on demand at the lowest cost possible.
Okay, so you're going to bring the news, the information, the knowledge of soccer to the community, men and women. Okay, so that's great. We know that there's a soccer stadium coming to Overtown, right?
Yes.
How does Gold News fit, and it's perfect timing, I think, but how does Gold News fit in that arena with the soccer stadium that's coming to Overtown?
Let's say that how we together we can help propel through Overtown to the world.
Right.
Because we are the news. Mm-hmm. So every time we speak about our community, we're going to talk positively.
Right.
We're going to show that, and soccer is a community that integrates.
Right.
Make a part of it. So they bring over whatever they can to help us to grow.
Like that. Integration. I like that. Integration of the cultures. That proves for prosperity for a community, and just awareness and the brightening of a community is key too as well. Tell me, you have been doing soccer for a lot of years. How
Yes.
many years have you actually been knowing, understanding, and developing, or just making aware, whatever you do? How long have you been doing it for soccer?
Let's say that I started, you cannot devote something you don't like it.
Right.
So, since I was a kid, my father was he refused to be a professional soccer player, so he owns amateur teams. He had two at the time, and of course, when your father did that, all the kids go together.
Right.
So I grew up in that ambient, understand the game, and playing the game even those women at that time didn't play. But as kids, they didn't care.
Right.
So I understand the game on its core, how to play, how to handle, how to administer, how to get the people together,
Right.
how to get the community involved. Because soccer is all that.
Right.
It's a family.
Right.
And afterwards, when I got into the university, and journalism was my first specialty.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, soccer then was not for me to cover.
Right.
Because as a woman, it's still a stigma. But then, when I was corresponding for the press agents, the biggest newspaper, sports newspaper, came in and offered the agents for me to cover for them, and asked me to cover American soccer. So I started learning soccer from the crib, because at that time was nothing. They pay me
Right.
to follow amateur, to follow nothing.
Exactly.
But yes, incredibly, U.S. has lots of soccer, and people didn't know that.
Right.
Everybody was playing. As one of my colleagues, the editor in English, told me, Rosangela, when anybody tried to snub you and say that Americans don't play soccer, ask them they know how to read.
Right.
And I say, what do they mean by that? What soccer has to do is the literacy.
Right.
See, very simple. Any person that go to school must to play soccer. It's the only
Right.
sport that the teacher.
And you're from Brazil, correct?
Oh, yes.
So soccer is big there, I assume. Yes.
It's not this big. Do you know when you were born for?
What?
I believe we're natural. We're born for it.
Oh, for soccer. I got you. You were born for it.
Even our babies, they
Right.
shoot the ball. You believe that they be in the field for whole life.
Right.
Look at our women. They just start playing. They play practically exactly like the men.
Mm-hmm.
So they are natural.
Right. And that's interesting. So this whole big thing of soccer, and this is a world thing. Soccer is a world thing. Like we have football, but soccer generates a lot of revenue. And it's a culture, and that culture is coming to Overtown, and I'm interested to see how that integrates. I'm interested to see, because like we may drive to a football game and have a tailgate party, but in soccer they actually walk to the game.
Oh, yes. The beauty in soccer is because they look at you and they don't judge you.
Right.
They simply accept you the way you are.
Right.
If you're sure about yourself and you accept me the same way, we are family.
Then we're family. And on that note, we're going to go for our first commercial. Well, I don't think our first.
Second,
We're going to go for
I
a
guess.
second commercial break, and we'll be right back after this commercial message. Two Guys Seafood and Caribbean Restaurant, home of the world-famous Ghetto Burger, located at 1490 Northwest 3rd Avenue, open Monday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Breakfast served daily. From perfectly seasoned seafood to juicy barbecue ribs, dine-in or take-out. Two Guys Seafood and Caribbean Restaurant is family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Call us about catering your next event, 305-374-1141. Don't just sit there. Come on down to Two Guys Restaurant. It's so delicious. Your taste buds will thank you. Welcome back, people. And yes, I have my second studio guest today. His name is Mr. Emmanuel Washington, but we in Overtown, we call him affectionately Papa Daddy. He's been putting in many years of work building up this community of Overtown, and I'm happy he's here today. How you doing, Mr. Wash?
I'm doing great, Andre.
I'm glad you're on the show. I'm
Thank you.
glad that we had the opportunity to sit and interact and just discuss what it is you do, because I feel like you are a very important component in this community. So tell us about CWTP.
Well, Community Work Training Program is a ministry, Andre. My wife and I, we started doing what we're doing as a ministry in our church. Our passion is men and marriages. So, and of course, with men and marriages, you're not bringing the family. And we
Right.
realized that when you now focus on men, and basically I said ministry because we looked at what we're doing and we looked at the Word of God. And the book of Genesis talked
Right.
about, in the beginning, God made man in his image. So the first thing God ever done for us was made us in his image.
Right.
And the very next verse, he said that he won't allow anything to grow on the earth until he have a man to work the earth. So
Exactly.
knowing that our presence, in our position is in God's presence, and that we're supposed to be working, that's the second thing he did for us. That's our natural position. And I realize, looking in our community, that when men are not in their natural position, they don't function properly.
Right.
You take anything out of its natural element, it doesn't function.
Right.
You take a tree, pull it up out of the ground,
Right.
it dies.
It dies.
You take a fish and move it out of the water, it dies.
Yes.
You take a man out of the presence of God and don't give him work, which God created him to do,
Right.
our community look the way it looks.
Right.
So we started this ministry based upon that. So the community work training program, we pretty much created a 5-point focal. Number one, we realized we got to get men to work.
Right.
Because that's what the word of God says. We need to make sure he's working, because if a man is working, he can take care of his family.
He can.
His
And-
mindset is totally
And we'll
different.
be happy taking care of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our focus with the community work training program, our primary focus is to get a man work. And it doesn't really matter what type of work he does. I know that I can take you from zero income to, even if it's $8 an hour,
Right.
$300 a week. So I'm
Right.
taking you from zero income to $300 a week. Now you got a sense of worth. You got a sense of now at least got some things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point now you're working and you're doing something. And the second thing we do, once we get them working, we sit down and talk with them. What is you really trying to do?
Right.
What is your goal?
Right.
This job we got you just so you can start providing income. But what did
Right.
God put in you? What do you really want to do?
Right.
So we basically, since we have an affiliation agreement with Miami-Dade County School Board,
Mm-hmm.
we get them now to identify what is he trying to do. If you're working on construction, do you like plumbing? Do you like electrical? Well, we get you in school 1 or 2 nights a week. So while you're working in the daytime, because it's an effort, it's going to take
Right.
some work.
So you offer a skills training
Yeah, and I
program.
don't reinvent the wheel because we have so many vehicles here already.
Right, we do.
just use those. Miami-Dade
Right.
County School Board have technical centers all over.
Right.
Miami Lakes, Turner Tech.
Right.
They Lindsay Hopkins.
Lindsay
They have every
Hopkins,
skill
yeah.
set that you ever want to
Yes,
learn.
sir. Yes,
so
they
we
do.
did. We just went to them, and Bobby Gornto, he's a real good friend of mine. He's the superintendent of adult basic education.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down with him and told him what we're doing. We worked together years ago when we first started our work training program, and told him what I was trying to do. And I said, listen, Bobby, I don't need to reinvent the school board or
Right,
the job.
right.
You guys are doing it. I just
Right.
need you to give me an affiliation agreement. You don't have to pay me, but give me an affiliation agreement to allow me to bring everybody I register in my program to your door and get them
Right.
training.
Right.
And right now they have that program over there, a career in a year. So that's what we do. We just connect the dots and make sure the individual. Now, how I get paid for? Most people, when they sign up, they qualify
Right.
for financial aid. So the FAFSA takes over that. And if they don't qualify for that, everybody in that program, and I got to give my prop to Career Source South Florida. They're my
Right.
partners.
Yeah, Career Source.
It's a resource in the community.
Big shout out to Robert and them.
Yeah, Robert and them. Yeah. I don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes down to that. They have a lock on that, and they have resources. The federal government sends them millions of dollars to make sure that if an individual want to now get retrained in any area, they'll pay for it.
Right.
So I require everybody to come to my door. You register with Career Source Center because now that you are their clients and mine, then now the resources that they have available to you.
So their resources is made available unto you. So
Exactly.
that's excellent. And then this way you are able to send qualified staff to employers who are seeking qualified staff.
Exactly.
And at the same time empower the community. So most of the people that come through your program is from the community over town, or it comes from all over?
From all over. When word get out that, somebody got some help,
Right.
people come from all over. I've got people registered in my database from Homestead all the way to even Broward County. Palm Beach, some people come from, they
Right.
relocated because they said, listen, there was no opportunity for them in their community. They came down here, heard about Old Town, and they came here and they realized, listen, let's go see Mr. Washington.
Right.
So people.
Do they call you Mr. Washington or Papa
Well,
Daddy?
when they depend upon what they call me, depend upon how well they know me. So those who just met me probably call me Mr. Washington.
Washington.
But those who I've raised and been a part of their life and we
Right.
grew up together, a lot of them call me Papa Daddy. Yeah.
So you recently was awarded a very nice grant, and you actually did an outstanding job fixing up your office.
Yes.
And in lieu of that, what are some of the things that you're going to be offering now, or is it going to be? Are you going to still do the same thing, or are you going to change up, switch it up a little bit, and offer a little bit more?
No, we basically sticking to the mission. Like I said, the first thing is to help men get work. The second
Right.
thing is get them some training, which is through the school board. The third thing, we sit down and we're going to be doing some in-house counseling with them, doing financial planning.
That's
Teaching them
good.
because a lot of people get paid on Friday and they broke on Monday. They don't understand how money works.
Paid on Friday, broke on Monday.
And the fourth thing
That
we
was
do
me.
is get them in a position where that now we get them where they're able to now have home ownership. We help them with their finances. 'Cause I was a licensed mortgage broker for 30 years.
Right.
So I did financial planning. And then the fifth thing.
But wait, stop, hold on. You was a licensed mortgage broker, but then you also did the fire. You was a fire, a chief or a captain or
Yeah,
something,
I'm a
right?
retired fire lieutenant, yes.
A fire lieutenant.
Yeah,
So you got some
lieutenant,
history.
retirement. Yes, I do.
All right, so hold that, because we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to enter into our open dialogue, and then we're going to take it from there, and then we're going to talk about that some more.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Let's talk business live from the OBRC.
Hi, how are you? We are one of the 7 co-founders of Urban Engineers. My name is Ayana Jane Stevenson, and this is Beatrice Lara Grande. Sure. Thanks for joining us. We're out here initiating phase 1 of the project. We're actually cleaning up the space. We recently had some damage from Hurricane Irma, knocked down a couple of the trees, and a lot of foliage is on the ground, so we're just out here moving it during our Sunday Fun Day. We plan to have a 3-day festival for Art Basel, and we're going to have it in this space, so we wanted to come here, like Lisa said, phase 1, clean up and make sure that everything is ready. In the next couple of months, we hope to have an amazing event for the community. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at phase 2.
Welcome back again, and now let's have an open discussion, guys. Let's talk about seriously doing business as minorities in this community. What are some of the things that hinder? And I'm going to start with you, Rosangela. What are some of the things that you feel may hinder us doing business, or may not hinder us doing business?
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by hinder is, do you feel like there's something that's holding you back in this community, or do you feel like you'll be able to prosper in this community as a business?
Of course, as a business. Yes, I believe that I can prosper in the community, and community prosper with me. Because they are receptive. I feel comfortable, I feel part of it. They treat you well, they are nice, they don't understand, but they don't mind. They don't attack you, so you are free to in and out in the community. You are free to talk to them. They are very nice. Just respect them, and you get respect back.
Is this community different from the community in which you were raised in Brazil? Is there any difference? Is it a big difference, or?
Not if you're looking that they are all human beings. But the men, per se, when they are in the right way, and this way I agree 100% with Mr. Washington, is when you are guided by God, you are more than a man. You are image of God, and act as such.
Right.
So you are brother, you are family anywhere you go.
Right.
And you are to help, not to disrupt, not to damage. You are to help to proper, how to say, growth.
Right.
Inside and outside.
And outside. Papa Daddy. Same question. What do you feel like maybe, if any, I'm not saying that they are, but what do you feel like are some of the challenges of being a startup or a small business?
Well, Audrey, when you say challenges, everything is challenges.
Right.
Just getting up in the morning sometimes is challenging.
Right.
But when I think about challenges, as far as a minority business, because there's a lot of resources there. Resources is the challenge. And then when I look at the resources, 3 things I look at. Number 1, identifying the resources. Because as a minority business, if you can't identify the resources,
That's key.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
And then after you identify the resources, now can you capture what you just identified?
Right.
Again, it comes back to the resources. So identifying the resources, capturing the resources, and then initiating what you captured.
Right.
Because a lot of times you can capture things and can't initiate it, which now puts you at a disadvantage challenge. And last but not least, implementing. Because once you initiate it,
Yes.
then now implementing what you have done. So it's all about the resources. And I just look at the challenges as can be overcome. Because like the Human Overtime Business Resource Center, they have seminars here that help us to now overcome these challenges. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, they identify the resources, they help us capture those resources, they help implement them, and they help us to initiate them. So this is a great tool put in place for the people.
Right.
Whether people take advantage of it or not, that's up to them.
Yeah, that's up to
them.
them.
The thing is that the challenges for me would be not so much that it's something that we can't get done. Everything's a challenge. It's just a matter of identifying the challenge and attacking it and make it happen.
Yeah,
So,
you cannot ask for something you don't know exists.
exactly.
Exactly. And so that's an excellent point, and I'm glad you made that, because as businesses, we have to take advantage and we have to implement. There is a saying that most businesses, 90% of black businesses fail in the first year. That's incredible. What do you think
No,
about
more than that,
It's-
in Miami, 80% of the startups will close in less than 2 years. So
Hey.
it's the number 1 in the startups in the entire United States, and also the number 1 in following startups in all
Now,
United States.
Why do you think that is? Rosangela. Wow.
Lack of knowledge. Again, if you don't know how to go for, let's take my example.
Right.
Okay? So, how much gonna cost me in office? That, let's say, the fixed expenses. Because before you put the business on, first of all, you must know if you are up to. Do you have the qualifications? Can you do it?
Right.
Can you be jack of all trades?
Right.
Before anything else. Can you feed yourself meanwhile your business don't grow? Don't just come in to be a business owner.
Right, just
no.
to be one, right?
Be an entrepreneur.
Right.
So meaning take calculated risks. Think before you go in trouble. It's not open, close, open, close. It's too easy to say, oh, I go to Tallahassee and put a restaurant with some bees. You are in business.
Yeah.
You are in business at the moment you start serving yourself and the community, doing something for yourself and for the community.
Exactly. So most people think that, oh, you know, okay, I have my son biz, I'm a business now. No, you have to put in work. Papa Daddy, how long did it take you before you were able to, because I know I had this problem, which was being able to delegate to employees. And that's an integral part of running a business. How difficult was it for you, or how long was it before you was able to understand how to delegate and have employees and, I guess, boss employees?
I don't know the exact time that it actually hit me, but I understand it clearly now. But in that, Dre, when it actually hit me is because I started going to trainings and seminars and stuff like that, and I pulled out of those trainings something very valuable to help me to understand that particular concept. Right. Is that you got to have four things. Number one, you got to have mentors.
Yes,
most
you
people,
do.
you know, if you don't have a mentor, businessman, or anybody like,
yes,
you're dead in the water. I call it my meat theory.
Yeah.
Because meat, you know, is heavy, but mentor is the M.
Yeah.
You got to have mentors in your life. If you don't have mentors in your life, then you're pretty much dead in the water.
Yeah, you're dead in the water. Yeah.
The second thing, the E stands for education. You've got to educate and not make yourself knowledgeable about that is what you're doing. Because whether it's soccer or work training program or whatever you decide to do, you got to get the education and identify with that. And so the mentors who mentoring you have expertise in the area, so you educate yourself about that so you can have that. The A is for action plan. Just like a business plan and anything, you got to have an action plan. Because if you don't have an action plan, you're dead in the water. Yeah. And last but not least, and it speaks to what you were just saying, is the team. The greatest, and I want you guys to finish this statement, and I learned this in a seminar years ago. It said, in order to get something done yourself, you have to do it yourself.
Okay.
You've heard that before? In order to get something done, you have to do it yourself.
Right.
And that's what you said
right.
about trying to delegate. Because that's why we don't want to delegate.
But there is a little thing that you should correct that statement. If you want things done your way, do it yourself.
I like that.
If you want things done properly to thrive, then have help.
Well, and even and the point I'm making is that statement I made is that's the biggest lie in the world.
Right.
You don't have to do it yourself.
I'm sorry, correct you one time.
The fallacy is that you have to do it yourself, which puts you in a position that you're trying to do everything instead of training and developing people. The thing is, you're going to have people that, you know, I've got two assistants that I just brought in. And I'm training them. They make mistakes, but they're learning. I give them the authority and I give them the opportunity to do it because I want them to know it. Because if I did it for them, then I didn't help them. So they're stumbling and making mistakes, but they're doing very good, you know. But I let them do it because now every mistake that they make, then they won't make that again.
But see, and that's the thing about it. You learn from your mistakes.
Exactly.
That is the greatest experience in the world, learning from your mistakes, because you know, like that's like a kid who places their hand on a hot stove. You know not to do that no more once you get burned.
That's right.
You'll never do it again. So that is the key, and I like that. I like that a lot. Meet.
It's called meet.
It's called meet. Mentor, education,
action plan,
and a team, because you could, you plan to fail because you fail to plan.
Yeah, and Dre, one thing I say, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm a pretty sharp guy. You know, I pride myself in just being a student of things.
Right.
And I'm not a rocket scientist. But people say, or when I look at people, I say, listen, I can tell if you're going to fail, if you're going to succeed, because failure and success is predictable.
It is.
I can look at you and tell, if you tell me that I want to buy a house, but every time you get paid, none of your dollars go toward a side to put toward a house.
Right.
I can tell you without a doubt, 100%, you're going to fail because it's predictable.
And see what most people will say, they'll say, oh, you're doubting me, oh, you're doubting me. But no, your course of action or your action plan shows whether or not
you're going to succeed or fail.
or your way to live also, because people believe they are entitled to have fun,
Right.
They are entitled to have a diversion. Oh, I must to take some time off
Right,
from
because
work.
I've been working so hard. Yeah.
But hello, responsibilities come
That's
with
right.
that also.
That's right.
You have rights, and with your rights come in the obligations.
That's right.
So when you set up a
Listen.
goal, make sure that you take the steps towards that goal. Like he said, you want to buy a house. First of all, what are you doing right now? What's your job? How much are you saving to do it? To buy a house, what do you need? It's not looking to know where the house is and how much it costs. No, how much do I have to get a down payment? How about is my credit? Is that good enough to back up a financial, for the bank to trust you?
Right. And that applies in every area of your
In
life.
every
We're
area.
talking about finances, but whether it be a relationship or whether it be your business,
Yeah.
you have to apply those principles, because if you don't apply certain principles to what you're trying to do, you're going to fail.
Exactly.
If you apply the principles, you're going to succeed.
In another word, action plan, regardless.
Action plan.
Action plan.
If you have a business plan, that's your guide in business.
Right.
In your personal life,
You
do
got
the
it.
same. As a matter of fact, you should write your goals, long range goals,
Yeah.
immediate goals,
To shoot
and
right.
read one.
Your goal. Goal
News.
news. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Yeah, this has been outstanding, and just the conversation, the energy, and that's the reason why I even formed the show, because I know that we need to have energy moving. So I'm asking a question, Papa Daddy. Do you think I'm gonna be successful or not based on my actions?
You know, the Bible says, speak those things that are not as if they were.
Right.
In the book of Genesis, when he said, God said, he did say that 9 times.
Right.
The very fact that God had to say it and it happened. What I say and what you say will happen. And I'm saying you're going to be successful. If you say you're going to be successful. So speak, and that's it. So it has
Believe
nothing
in
to do
what
with
you
what I
do.
think. What you say is what will happen.
What will
Believe in
happen?
what you do, and believe in yourself, and above all, believe in God.
I really. So we're about to close out. Let's start with Rosangela. Any closing words about Gold News? How you can be contacted on Gold News if someone wants to work, and maybe elaborate just briefly on some of the needs that you may have as Gold News.
Oh, if there are some journalists, writers in soccer, please come in. I teach you how to do it in magazine way and how to serve our fans. That's what I'm really looking at. And by the way, you don't do for free. You are a professional. Act as such, and you respect you as such, paying accordingly.
Amen.
That part, Mr. Washington.
And as far as contacting us, well, on the screen has all our contact information of where you can reach us at, and our website and everything. But what I want to say in closing, because you asked the question about me fixing up our office, in our office, when you walk in, on the wall, you see a lot of writings. And those writings on the wall is specific to what we do. On the right-hand side, the first I have it there, big bold, is intention. Because I know what your intentions are, but the question is on the other wall, what's your direction? In the other wall, it says that expectation. And around each one of those, we have some things, because I know what your intentions are.
Right.
But your thoughts got you to where you are today. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but they're your thoughts.
Right.
But if you continue to do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, we know what they call that, insanity. So we say we line up specific goals with your thoughts so you can accomplish your dreams. And the question is, what direction are you heading in? And if you're heading in this direction, when are you going to start?
Right.
We say start right now, focus, aim, and then you can accomplish your goal. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, the expectations on the wall, the first thing we said is accountability.
Right.
You have to be accountable. We
Right.
expect you to be accountable, not only to us, but to yourself. And then, of course, sacrificing, because sometimes you have to come in and take a job that you really not deserving of but the bottom line is that sacrificing, patience, all those things we put on the wall, because we want you to realize that, listen, these are the things you need to think about as
Exactly.
you're on this journey to success.
Exactly. And you too can be successful if you watch Tell a Friend about Let's Talk Business live from the OBRC, because that's what we in place for. To get on the show, y'all know what to do. Comment below. And that's it. I want to thank my studio guests, Rosangela Diniz of Gold News and Mr. Emmanuel Washington of CWP Community Work Training Program for coming on the show today. We had a blast and we gave y'all a lot of plethora of information. And if you don't utilize it, it's on you, because it's all about your action plan. Y'all see y'all next week. Let's Talk Business live from the OBRC. I am your host, Andre Soul Williams, and you take care and be blessed and stay successful.
Peace.
Go! Welcome back to the commentary of Andre Soul Williams, and it's something that I do at the end of every show when I offer my express views, and these are my soul views and my opinions. And one of the things that I wanted to elaborate on is surrounding yourself with negative energy. It seems like misery loves company, and people who are miserable love to make you miserable as well. And to be successful and to truly move forward with the business, you have to make sure that you surround yourself with positive energy and positive people, because if you don't, they're going to deplete all that positive energy you got. They're going to bring it down, and you cannot be successful operating on negative energy. So I implore, employ, motivate, inspire, suggest to you to please surround yourself with positive energy so that you may have a positive, prosperous, and productive day in your business endeavors. This has been the word of Andre Soul Williams. Let's Talk Business Live is filmed at the OBRC Live, and we implore you and invite you to be a part of the show. Until next week, I'll see you again. Bye-bye.